Now the sixth question. Question is, what represent the y-axis of a PDF curve? Let us see that. Sixth question. What is in the y-axis of a PDF curve? You can simply say y-axis is the output of the function PDF given by the value of function evaluated at a given value of x. So it can be something like the same expression 1 by sigma root 2 pi e raised to minus half x minus mu by sigma the whole square. The x is x1, x2 or x3 like this. This one for a given value of x. Y-axis represent this expression, or it is nothing but you can say the answer, it is representing the probability itself. So that is the y-axis representing the probability. But here there is a very subtle difference in talking about probability and PDF. Of course, the output of PDF or y-axis is the probability, but generally the statistician or the scientists or engineers generally do not measure the value in y-axis with respect to probability. The meaning is something like this. Suppose you have a random variable x and you need to see the probability of x when the value of x is say a. In our wave example, I have made a measurement, I have a model. I need to know the probability of the wave height to be say 1.2 meter. 1.2 meter. This is A. A is 1.2 meter. I need to know the probability of wave height to be 1.2 meter. See, this is generally, this investigation is not generally done by engineers and scientists. What generally they, so this one is you can write it as, even though this is I have discarded it, you can write probability of x equal to a. You write it like this, probability of x equal to a, that is probability of the, in our example, wave height to be 1.2 meter. What is the probability? So that is directly given by the y-axis. For example, if here it is 1.2 meter in the unit, if I say if it is 1.2 meter, then I go to the PDF and I find out the probability here. This is nothing but P of x equal to a. But generally statisticians, they do not measure this. What they measure is probability of x less than or equal to a. They are interested in things like this because I mean, that is, there are some reasoning behind this. I will explain that later. So P of x less than or equal to a, or P of x greater than or equal to a, these things they measure. That is probability of, in our example, probability of wave height less than 1.2 meter and probability of wave height more than 1.2 meter. This is what they measure. So what will be this probability of x less than or equal to a? Say if here you have a, this is the mean value, a mean value maybe say 1.5 meter, a is 1.2 meter. So P of x less than or equal to a is the total area of the curve. Total area of the curve. Similarly, P of x greater than or equal to a is the total area of curve on the right side. So this one is the left of the curve, this is the right of the curve, area below the curve, left or right. So this is a quantity statisticians or scientists or engineers are interested upon. So due to this, what is in y-axis is a theoretical question. It can be answered as y-axis represents the probability, but the statisticians or probabilists or scientists will object you. No, this is not probability. For the practical cases, probability is the area below curve like this. So in an abstract sense, y-axis represent probability. That is the answer to the question number 6. But at the same time, you should understand that the term probability is corresponding to the value either less than or greater than some value, or a value in between a range like this. So generally the term probability in practical sense is the area below the curve, partial area below the curve. Anyway, but the answer is y-axis represents probability. So in speaking about this concept I explained corresponding to question number 6. So this p of x less than or equal to a. So this is the value of a, say for example 1.2 meters in our example. Mu is say 1.5 meters. So here will be a. So this line or this area, left side area, will represent p of x less than a, and right side with the green shading will tell you p of x greater than a, greater than or equal to a. So the term probability in such cases, or engineers seek, is area below the curve like this, rather than the probability appearing on y-axis. Okay, now question 7. Question 7 is, what is the unit of y-axis? It's very obvious from the discussion so far. We have made the y-axis is representing the output of PDF, or it is to some extent nothing but the probability. So the output of PDF, you can see the right hand side. What is the unit of this? Consider this exponent part. It is unitless because all these are having the same unit divided by the same unit. So only the quantity, if the unit is only this one, 1 by sigma. So 1 by sigma is the unit of y-axis. This also implies that you know that a unit of sigma and x, they are same, so it is convenient to say that unit of y-axis is 1 by x. It is also conveniently we can say that, or otherwise from some other perspective we can also say y-axis represent the probability per observed value, or per unit of the observed value. So it's per observed value, or its unit. So that is the unit of y-axis, and we have already seen the unit x, mu and sigma, etc. they are seen. So that's it. Consider our case of or that wave height example. So here if you substitute the units, the sigma is in meter, so the y-axis will represent the probability or output per meter wave height. So that is why this expression is also very useful to say, or otherwise per observed value also you can say as an answer to the question number 7. And also this is a content, y-axis also has got dimensionless quantities, that is 1 by 2 pi is a part of it, and this expression is also a part of it. So these are all dimensionless quantities. So the answer ultimately becomes 1 by x. Now the 8th question, or what is p of x equal to 0 for standard normally distributed random variable? Number 8 is, what is probability of x equal to 0 in n01, that is a standard normal n01. So what is p of x equal to 0 in number 8? So you can see h of a standard normal curve. These things will be, this mu becomes 0 here because this is 0, and this becomes 1 or one standard deviation is a unity, and what is p of x equal to 0 corresponds to this one. Okay, or otherwise in the sketch, so that is a height here, or the ordinate here is the answer. You can also use the equation and substitute it, because you know that in standard normal the equation is nothing but 1 by root 2 pi e raised to minus half x square, and if you substitute x equal to 0, it will yield 1 by root 2 pi as the probability. Anyway, I have told you in the previous question number 6, y-axis values are not directly probability from the point of view of scientists and engineers or statisticians. Anyway, but for the say academic purpose, we can say this value is nothing but 1 by root 2 pi, and this is approximately 0.4. So 0.4 is the answer. That is a probability of x equal to 0 in a standard normal is this one. Now coming on to the ninth question. Ninth question is also there. What is p of x equal to mean in a Gaussian random variable? The meaning of this one is, they are asking in question number 9. Question number 9, what is the probability of x equal to mu? That is mean. So what is the probability of x equal to mu in n mu sigma square? So this graph directly gives the answer, that is this ordinate. So this ordinate, how much? What is the ordinate? You're looking onto the diagram or in the equation, you can substitute x equal to mu. When you substitute x equal to mu, what happens is this goes, so this entire thing goes, and what is remaining is 1 by, so the answer is 1 by sigma root 2 pi. So the maximum ordinate in a normal distribution is 1 by sigma root 2 pi. So that is the answer. Let me use properties are generally not using in practical cases. Anyway, repeating, for academic purpose we can evaluate these values. And the 10th question, what is the area of normal PDF between, that is this, you know, that the point of inflection also. So what is this area? That is the question. So to explain about that, you can write it out by integration. And direct results, people have presented direct results. So this figure will tell you the story. So this green hatched area, it is from minus 1 standard deviation to plus 1 standard deviation. We can always speak units of x-axis like that. We can see the total is 68.2%. So the answer to the first question is 68.2%. Now one more, a bit more information can be observed. See, the area from minus 2 times standard deviation to plus 2 times standard deviation is 95.4, and also the area from minus 3 standard deviation to plus 3 standard deviation is 99.7. So that means in a normally distributed random variable, the entire observation, or for the value to be between minus 3 sigma to plus 3 sigma, is very high, is having a very high probability to the tune of 0.997. Or otherwise, this is a information used in management also. You can see the width of the interval is 6 sigma. So in 6 sigma area is, in 6 sigma range, the area is 99.7. So the advantage of considering 6 sigma interval is, by this you are addressing almost all the population, or almost all the data, or 99.7 of data, and you can eliminate the trouble between minus sigma to plus sigma in your studies. So if you confine to a definite interval of 6 sigma, your study can be smoothly carried out with a very good level of confidence. So that is the advantage of 6 sigma. So with that we explain all the 10 questions.